Right, let's go back to the Eastern Cape now. Our reporter Lerato Fekisi is in Port Elizabeth, where a family of 20 have been living in a shed for years. A very good afternoon to you, Lerato. What happened with that family and what's the latest?
Good afternoon to you, Nzinga. Well, this family actually goes back before coronavirus. It's a 3-generational family, which means that they inherited this specific house, which I must say is dilapidated a few years ago. And when their mother passed away, only once she passed away, they found out that their mother does not have an ID document, which means that the two sisters now, Veronica and also her sister Monica, also don't have IDs, meaning that their children cannot get any grants. Like you heard in the story, last year they worked at a farm, a chicken farm, where they were exploited and the contract came to an end and they are not working. To add to that, the living conditions there in Nzinga are absolutely horrific, just to put it lightly. They live literally in one shed, which was like a box-sized type of shed. When we entered the specific house, the smell in the house was so putrid and there were literally flies everywhere. So sanitation is a huge problem. Water is a huge problem. And the more concerning thing is that this is all happening at a time where sanitation and good health must be prioritized in order to stop the spread of the virus corona. But joining me this morning, Nzinga, is a lady who has really been a champion to help this family. Her name is Desiree Goodwin, and she's from an NGO called Giving Gifts of Love. Desiree, you've been working with this family for as far back as many years. How tough was it as a single NGO to assist a family of 20 facing so many problems?
It's been very difficult. We found out about the family last year in September, because the one young mom, her daughter Chantal, was 5 years old. She was brutally raped and murdered on that farm. And unfortunately, the perpetrator is in the community, and until this stage, he has not even been charged. So they've received no justice for the murder and rape of this child. Like you say, they have no IDs, which they are unemployed. There's no water. They depend on rainwater. And because we are suffering a drought, we've actually had to drive out with containers of water. They were unable to wash for weeks because of no water.
Desiree, you're also on a monthly basis trying to get food to these people, but you said to me earlier on that this food comes from Good Samaritans who actually sponsor you with food. So when I talked to Monica, I asked her, when Desiree doesn't give you food, how then do you survive?
Yes, like she said, they would have starved by now. And I've had very good Samaritans. I've had people from overseas send in money. We've been able to actually take Veronica to a grocery shop and let her buy groceries, which was the first time in her life she's ever had this privilege.
And then also, you said to me earlier on that you have tried numerous attempts from municipalities or social development to try and get assistance for this family. Key to that is trying to get them ID documents. How far have you come and some of the challenges you face thereof?
I've contacted so many departments with regards to this. I was trying to get the municipality for over 2 weeks to take water to that farm. I was told because it's a farm, they would have to pay for the water. So how can they sanitize and have any form of hygiene if there's no water? When I arrived there with water, they just started drinking the water. So it is extremely difficult. They are living in the worst poverty one can ever imagine. Every one of their basic needs have been denied. When I first arrived at the farm, Veronica was sleeping on a dirty piece of mattress on the ground, and all she asked for was for a bed.
Living at a time now where sanitation, water, good health must be so prioritized because we're trying to curb and stop the spread of this virus. When you look at that situation, what are some of your concerns and perhaps your outcry to government at this time, especially at a time where we're asking people to keep clean and wash their hands, but how can they do that if they don't have those basic rights?
It is very difficult, and as far as I'm concerned, this is a problem. All of the various government departments and the municipalities need to get involved. They need justice for the child that was murdered. They need water. They need food. They need IDs. They need education. They need grants. The list. They need a job. They need proper housing. The list just goes on and on. It is just unacceptable.
Well, that was Desiree Goodwin from an NGO called Giving Gifts of Love, who has played a pivotal role to try and assist this family. But you can understand, Zinga, doing this all by herself is literally impossible because, like you heard from her, there are multifaceted problems. There's IDs, there's no jobs, there's sanitation, there's water. We actually just speak to the Department of Social Development, and they said to us they are going to send social workers to this family. And I spoke to them earlier on, and they said that they have sent out a social worker to do an evaluation of the situation, and we'll follow up and hear exactly what has been done for this family who are really struggling at a time where basic services are not being provided to them. But for now, let's go back to you in studio.